Good morning. Welcome back to another edition of PreMarket PulseScan with yours truly, Dex, the Algo Capitalist, aka the Vulcan, coming to you live from PulseWaveTrading.com, home of the world famous algo trading system, PulseWave price trigger reports. That's right. You can get that methodology given to you right in your hand each and every day, Sunday through Friday. That's right. Sunday through Friday. That's how we roll up in here, player. Now, see, if you were a member of PulseWaveTrading.com, you would have caught the rally. You would have caught that breakout. All right? You would have caught it. You would have caught it. But no, you didn't want to sign up. No, you didn't want to do the free account. No, you didn't want to take me up on my offer to get a six-pack knowing that you were parched and thirsty. So the results are in. You missed that the Dow is exploding. You're missing that the Russell is exploding. This is one of those mornings where I feel so good, I could just leap out of my chair and start dancing. Because of the wonderful work he does. All right, so this is what we do. You see, the price trigger reports are more than just a trading tool. It's a lifestyle. Being a pulse waver is a lifestyle. Any pulse waver will tell you that when you catch these beautiful moves in the markets, it feels good, man. It feels good. Yeah, you're going to have some rough days. You may even have a rough week. But once you hang in there and get the hang of what you need to be doing each and every day, trust me, the results will speak for themselves. All you have to do is execute, execute, execute. Execute as soon as you get the reports. Stop overthinking things. Stop all the analysis paralysis. Put away your charts. Stop listening to all these other people out there contradicting what you know to be right. All right? The world is full of commentators. I personally have about 1,000 YouTube subscriptions, if YouTube hasn't deleted most of them, because you know that's what they do. When you subscribe to a channel that you like, they so easily and quietly unsubscribe you from said account. And then you're wondering why I haven't heard none from this person in a minute. Let me see what they up to. And then you go to their YouTube channel and you see they got like 500 videos that you just missed. You know what I'm saying? That kind of annoying stuff. And they're up to it again. They're taking down people's videos, without their permission, just taking stuff down that they don't like. Anything that they feel is threatens their narrative or threatens the New World Order or threatens anything. Pretty much anything that's telling the truth. If they feel some type of way about it, your video is coming down. So what a lot of YouTubers have started doing is what they'll do is they'll say, okay, I'm going to do a video about the video that I did a video about. And you can peep it over at BitChute or on some other channel, some other social media platform. And it's sad that we have to do that. But unfortunately, it's probably just a matter of time before even those alternatives will not be available to us due to no fault of our own, of course. It's just the way that the world is going right now. Have you ever felt like Rip Van Winkle? Like you woke up to a whole new world, not just a new day. Most of us went to bed last night and, we shook ourselves off from the day and said, okay, I'm going to go to sleep tomorrow I'm going to get up and it'll be a new day and we can reset and do what we got to do. But then when you wake up the following day, you realize that it doesn't feel like just a day went by, but it feels like years have gone by. And you start thinking, man, I'm missing time. Was I abducted by aliens last night? What happened? And it's not that you were abducted by aliens. It's not that you overslept. No, 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 it's none of that. It's that the world has changed literally overnight. While you were sleeping, other people were scamming and scheming and planning and plotting your destruction. And when you wake up, you realize that the world that you once knew the day before is gone. It's missing in action. All right. And you don't realize this until you go downstairs and pour yourself a glass of milk. You look on the side of the milk carton, and to your surprise, you almost drop the milk on the floor in shock. It's a picture of yesterday. Yesterday is missing, and so is today. Both of their faces are on the milk carton. Have you seen today? If you have, call this hotline, because today is missing. We're in a different today. The world has changed, people. It's changing real bad. So I'm going to say this right now. I know I say it a lot, but you need to go to PulseWaveTrading.com. Please, if you don't do anything else, just sign up for the free account so you can be kept abreast of what's going on. We got a bunch of goodies over there, free giveaways, all types of stuff. At least you will be able to keep abreast of us. Like if this evening you go to look for the end of day report and it's not there because YouTube has banned me, at least you'll still be able to communicate with me, hear me, know what we're doing, know what's going on, and we'll be able to tell you where we are because we're going to be posting stuff, videos and stuff on our website anyway. But if you're a member, at least we'll never lose contact with each other. All right. You can't just rely on Facebook or YouTube for that, because if they kick you off of one platform, they kick you off of all of them. So how else are we going to maintain fellowship? The only way to maintain fellowship is through our website. So if you go and you register, then we'll be able to keep up with each other. Okay. This is important, people. Excuse me. It's you know, since we've been in the process of building out our network, you know, we have camaraderie all over the planet. You know, it's important that we be able to keep abreast with each other because they're trying to turn our internet into China. That is not a conspiracy theory. That is a conspiracy fact. And this is not a conspiracy channel. This is a conspiracy analyst channel. We analyze conspiracies. We research and find facts and evidence. That's what we do. We go wherever the evidence leads us. All right. We try our best to put on a white lab coat, coming to the table with no preconceived notions, except for maybe a hypothesis or two. And then we look to see if it's true or if it's not. Do the facts support what's going on? Does the evidence support your theory? If the evidence does not support your theory, then your theory is bogus and you must throw it out and start over. All right. That is an honest analyst. An honest analyst of world events and current events and news and situations and etc. Always will put on a white coat, a white lab coat. You're coming into this clean and pure. You're saying, I'm willing to go wherever the evidence leads me, even if it proves that I am deceived and I've been lied to. I'll have to deal with that. I have to change my worldview. I will have to change my opinion. If that's the case, so be it. You have to be bold enough and prepared mentally, psychologically, emotionally to say that to yourself. Okay, I'm willing to research this. I'm willing to have an open mind about this. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'll just have to find a way to deal with it. Seriously. As an adult, you will have moments like that in your life about various things, various topics, various situations. You may say, I don't believe that. I refuse to believe that. What you're saying right now is causing violence to my mental well-being. But if you're honest with yourself and if you can put away the bias and the fear and start to analyze and investigate the evidence, you will be surprised where evidence will and can and may lead you. But only if you are willing and you have an open mind enough to partake on the journey. All right? No one can force truth and facts down your throat. Many people have tried and they have been unsuccessful. You cannot force feed an adult. By nature, an adult will rebel. It is in our nature to do so. All right? We were not created to be subservient to man, to be controlled by man, to be a slave of man. Man was not created to be a slave. All right? So anytime someone is trying to be tyrannical over your life as an adult, you will rebel against it. It is the natural order of things. Everything that an adult does must be voluntary. It cannot be involuntary. It cannot be done under coercion. It cannot be done out of manipulation or intimidation. It has to be willingness. And that parallels the free giving analogy in the Bible. Giving should be free will. All right? Not out of intimidation or coercion. All right? And that's the same thing with life, period. All right? The world is full of exciting information and different fields of study and things of that nature. When you shut yourself down off of things, when you become dismissive, it actually stunts your growth as a human being, and it can be dangerous. One of the worst sayings I've ever heard is that ignorance is bliss. Ignorance is not bliss. Ignorance is exactly what it says. It's ignorance. To be ignorant of something means that you lack understanding. Who wants to walk around in life lacking understanding? All right. And all your knowledge, you should always strive to gain understanding. Knowledge in and of itself is not enough. Knowledge just equals information. But how do you process that information without understanding? You want the knowledge to become understanding so that in you're getting the understanding, you now can apply wisdom. You gain wisdom. That is the process of obtaining wisdom. First knowledge, then understanding. The wisdom will come with the experience as you apply your understanding. Have I made myself clear? Good. Then let's move on. First and foremost, let's look at these overnight quotes, shall we? Taking a look at the Dow futures right now. The Dow futures is showing its behind this morning. It's showing off. It's up over 400 points. We're up 407 points at 24,406. Talking about breaking out. NASDAQ 100 decided it's going to keep on trucking too. It's up 82 points at 89.05 half. E-mini S&P 500 says, hey, I will not be left out of this. It's up 40 3/4 points at 29.10. Looking at the Russell, of which I made the wise decision to remain long last night. I did not pop. I did not get out of the market. I just follow the recommended stop in the report. And I'm very excited to report to you this morning that it's up 38 points. The Russell is up 38 points, trading at 1315.4. Don't you love it? Looking at Bitcoin, I know you Bitcoin bulls out there are loving life. The Bitcoin Futures Composite Index is up $60, trading at 7,840. Overnight high was 7,875. After recovering from a stop run down to the 7,735 level before recovering to where it is now. All right. Very, 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 very strong show of strength there in that Bitcoin. It will be good to see a close today above 78.45 on the Bitcoin Futures Composite Index. Can I get a witness? All right. Now, this should be a boon this morning to your GBTC, which closed yesterday at $8.79. And right now, your bid-ask spread is between $8.80 and $8.85. Okay, so you got a nickel spread there. Your Ethereum ETF, ETHE is the ticker. Right now, it has a very wide spread. We're looking at 94 on the bid, 97.5 on the ask. Nat Gas turned the corner, getting bullish. We got a little bully here, folks. Nat Gas up 7 cents, trading at $1.98. It did hit $2.02 on the mini contract, but $2.01.8 on the big contract. So before pulling back and dropping below that $2 mark. So is Nat Gas telling us something? Crude oil futures right now stand at unchanged, $12.80. It did drop a whopping $2. I'm sorry, make that almost $3 from the high. It got as low as $10.07 before recovering to now $12.75. Looking at your long bond got strong. It is now up 17.30 seconds, trading at 181.03. It did dip to 180 in 330 seconds before recovering. Seems like the bonds are trying to stay within that 180 to 181 range that I talked to you about yesterday. It is causing for a higher open in the TLT for those trading the long ETF. Excuse me, I need a drink of water. Woo. Excuse me. I don't know what happened there. I don't know what the problem is, but hey, it is what it is. Okay, I was sharing my screen and then it got canceled. I don't know what happened. I don't know. Did I do something? I don't know. I could have. Okay. Let me get this drink. All right. Here we go. All right. Let's see here. What do we leave off at? All right. Long bond. Okay. Gold right now is up $3.30, trading at $1,727.30. Overnight high was $1,731.90 after recovering from the overnight low of $1,706. So we have a $27 rally off the overnight low. Very interesting show of strength for gold futures. All right, looking at silver. Silver's up 9 cents. Now, silver's trading at $15.44. The overnight high was $15.50, and the overnight low was $15.08. So we have here a 32-cent rally off the lows here in the silver. So I find that very interesting as well. That is a good, strong show of faith and the bullishness of the market. So very good. This is a beginning. We'll see how it works. We'll see what happens. But as of right now, it does look a little strong. A little strong. Let's take a look now at the fiat. All right, taking a look here now, switching our attention to fiat. U.S. dollar index is down a whopping 44 pips, trading at 99.60. Did get above par last night briefly, got to 100.20, so that's par 20 after hitting an overnight low of 99.45. So we bounced A little bit off of that overnight low, just a little bit though. Looking very weak here in the dollar. That is causing a boon in your currency pairs. Euro yen is off 30 pips though at 115.85. Couldn't hold that 116 level. Couldn't hold it. Looking at the euro, it's up 35 pips, trading at 108.79. Pound sterling up 51 pips at 124.76. It seems to love that 124, 125 level right now. Looking at the Aussie, it is up 29 pips at 64.95. Going over the food, looking at beans. Soybeans are up 2.5, trading at 8.39. Corn is up 1 point, trading at 3.14 1/4. And wheat is up 4.25 points, trading at 5.29. Wheat just couldn't hold that 5.30 level. We're still dropping. It's just like I was saying to you guys the other day. Ignore those rally and crash alerts at your own peril. It should be noted that corn's complexion right now is pulse waving positive. It should also be noted that your soybeans are pulse waving negative, and your wheat is also pulse waving negative. So we got bearish market conditions in wheat and soybeans and bullish market conditions in corn. That is a head scratcher, if I must say so myself. All right, taking a look at now our news. Give me just a second here. All right. Thanks for that. I was unaware of that, my man Frank. Thanks, man. Good looking out. Okay. Let's see here. I know the news is around here somewhere. I just have to pull it out, right? All right, here we go. That's one piece. There's something else I wanted to do. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I gotta find it. Okay, it's not there. Oh well. Okay, so first and foremost, the UK has rejected Apple and Google's contact tracing API, instead launching an app that will take a more centralized approach, according to the BBC. The move is likely to alarm privacy and security experts. Automation Anywhere said it's cutting jobs due to the impact of the corona crisis. All right, for those that are keeping track, that was our bell. The market is now open for trading. And it looks like I may be getting a couple of fills here. I did not move some of my entries. I kept them where they were because those were key intraday price inflection points. So we're going to see what it do. I'm curious to see what it do. I don't think we're going to get too much action though, but you never know. We'll see. I'll keep you posted. All right, let's see here. Apple may delay mass production of the iPhone 12 by about a month, according to the Wall Street Journal. The report comes after analysis and other media reports have also suggested Apple could push back the iPhone launch by a couple of weeks or a month because of the coronavirus pandemic. It's like all of a sudden the world's economies are being hijacked by the coronavirus. Microsoft billionaire and philanthropist Bill Gates believes an upswing in nationalism left the world ill-positioned to cope with the coronavirus pandemic. Speaking to the Times, Gates was asked whether current politicians were up to the task of responding to the crisis that he created. I added that last part. First of all, notice what he said. He said an upswing in nationalism left the world ill-positioned. Let's break down what that really means. First of all, since when was nationalism a bad thing? See, they want to tear down borders. They don't want borders. They want a one world government. They want a one world monetary system. That means currency. They want a oneness of all things. They want a Borg. They want a hive mind. They even want just one internet. They want to control you and everything about you. They want to control what you think. They want to control what you hear. They want to control what you see. They want to control what you smell. They want to control when you live, if you live, and when you die. They want to be God. It is a God complex. They think that they're gods and they believe that they have the power to become gods. And they get to decide everything for you because you, peasant, are unable to make these decisions by yourself without their divine right leading and guiding you in all things. They believe it is their divine birthright to control you and tell you what you should do and how you should feel. The UK will trial using drones to deliver urgent medical supplies and equipment as part of the fight against COVID-19. Under a trial that starts this week, an autonomous drone will carry personal protective equipment from 3 hospitals in Hampshire, a county in southern England, to a hospital on the Isle of is that White or Wait, an island off England's south coast, and back again. R5 Capital downgraded Amazon stock from a buy to sell rating on Monday, citing concerns of slowing growth and smaller profit margins amid COVID-19. It's a rare sell recommendation for Amazon among Wall Street analysts, as most remain bullish over the company's stock. So they don't like the stock anymore. They want to sell it. They say that it's topped out. They think Amazon is topped out. Well, let's just see here. Is Amazon topped out? Is something going on in the zone? Do I have someone at R5 Capital as a member of the PulseWave Price Trigger Reports? Because if you are a member, you can go right here and fact check this with me. Coming into today's market for today's trading, we have a primary crash alert on Amazon. Yes, we do. We sure do, even though it is in a bullish configuration, meaning that we are positive pulse waving. We're pulse waving positive. We still got that crash alert on Amazon. Can I get a witness in the live chat for my pulse waivers? Do we or do we not have a primary crash alert in Amazon? What say you? I think you will see the answer is yes, we do. Can someone also testify for me this morning? Is Amazon not down $10 right now in trading as the market is now open? Is it not? Is it not? Is it not? Is it not? I rest my case. Amazon is in the red. Amazon had a crash alert, a primary crash alert at that, coming into today's trading. And now they're citing it in this article. They're, hey, something ain't right. We looking to sell this puppy. Well, they're a little day late and $1 short, if you ask me, because the post-wave price trigger reports have been giving warnings since 4/17/2020. That's right. On April the 17th, we gave you a crash alert warning. On April the 21st, we gave you another warning. This one was showing you that there was a possibility that the market was about to break, and it broke and decided it was going to break down. And then coming into today, we gave you another heads up And as you can see here, well, the rest is history. Is we or is we ain't topping out? Looks to me like we topping out, player. Just saying. Just saying. You got to take all things into consideration when you're dealing with stuff like this. You got to think about it. You got to think about it. And right now, it's what it's looking like. It's looking like that Amazon could be having some issues. So we'll see. I'll wait to reserve judgment. I'll wait and see what happens. We'll take a look at it. We'll see what's up, and then we'll move on. All right, taking a look now at WhatsApp. WhatsApp says a viral message forwarding is down 70% after it took steps to combat COVID-19 misinformation. The private messaging service announced in early April that it was placing limits on the mass forwarding of messages in an effort to stop misinformation about the coronavirus winging its way around the world. Well, first of all, since when did WhatsApp become a virologist or epidemiologist? I thought WhatsApp was an app for communication purposes. I had no idea that they were medical doctors. Did anyone else notice that? I didn't know. Who knew? Who knew? Who knew? Who knew? I just didn't know. I didn't know that Facebook or YouTube had a team of doctors on the payroll. I did not know that they had epidemiologists and virologists on their payroll, and that their job was to go through all the billions of YouTube videos and select which ones were factually in error according to medical practice. I didn't know that. I didn't know social media had a board of directors that were medical doctors, virologists, and epidemiologists, and other types of research scientists. I did not know they had a lab in their headquarters. I did not know that they were the leading authority on medical information. I did not know that. I did not know that. And since this is so weird and mysterious, according to the mainstream media and our president, since no one knows really where this came from or if it's weaponized or not and how to really treat it, how can you say what is misinformation and what is the true information? You, according to your own lips, said you don't know. And so since you don't know, how can you tell someone else that what they're saying is wrong? Can you say censorship? Oh, it gets better. Just wait a second. It gets better. Bill Gates has said his charity was giving total attention to the coronavirus pandemic. To date, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, which has an endowment of $46.8 billion, has already pledged over $250 million toward coronavirus research and response. All right. Let me make sure I understand what's really happening here. According to Bill Gates, this is coming from the horse's mouth. Now, he's saying that this is a pandemic. He's concerned about this pandemic. It's not safe to go outside. You can't even look at your mother. You can't do nothing. You can't breastfeed your baby. You can't touch your baby unless you're doing it through some type of a bubble, according to Bill Gates. Now, he has a $46.8 billion endowment for their foundation, but they only giving away $250 million. If this was such the disease, if this was such the world-ending catastrophe that you say it is, why didn't you put the whole $46.8 billion toward it? I'll tell you why. Because it's a farce. And it's because they're behind it. That's what the evidence is suggesting, folks. That's all I'm saying. Airbnb will issue cleaning standards for rentals for the first time. The rentals company is launching an opt-in program for hosts, which will involve leaving 24 hours between different guests and giving participating hosts a stamp of approval. All right, you guys, if you haven't figured it out yet, if you guys haven't figured the game out yet, let me go ahead and help you out. You may be asking yourself, why do I sense a reoccurring theme in all these news reports? It seems like the companies are doing sacrificial lamb things that would literally destroy their company. Who would do that? Why are they doing things that is moving in the opposite direction of where they want to be going as a for-profit company? And it also seems like there's some type of a hive mind thing going on, like monkey see, monkey do almost. Like, since when did corporations get in a room together and decide that they were going to do the same things regarding the same issues? How in the world do you get so many global companies, so many states, so many counties and municipalities, so many countries to all agree when it comes to the coronavirus, but they can't agree on anything else? We still got wars being fought, but it seems like we're having a ceasefire. Everyone is agreeing and is of one mind surrounding the coronavirus. Does this not is it not a cause for concern? You can't get 10 people to agree on if you should use American cheese or Swiss cheese on a sandwich, but yet they all agree in unison when it comes to the coronavirus, when it comes to evolution, when it comes to flat earth, when it comes to 9/11. They are all in lockstep unison, speaking the same thing as if they were reading from a script. Oh, my fault. They are reading from a script. That's why every channel that you turn your TV to that claims to be a news channel, they're all reading from the same script, and it doesn't matter what jurisdiction they're located in. Wow. Can somebody say fake news? Talking about fake news, all the news you're getting is coming from the one entity that we all have a problem with, and that's your New World Order. Amazon may have violated safety standards for providing inadequate protections to warehouse workers in New York, according to the state attorney general's office. In a letter obtained by NPR, Letitia James' office says it is continuing to investigate whether Amazon's safety measures are sufficient. According to whom? Safety measures according to whom? Safety in what way? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought we had a department for that. It was called OSHA. Yeah, it's called OSHA. I haven't heard the term OSHA mentioned once throughout this entire coronavirus spamdemic. I haven't. I haven't heard OSHA mentioned. What's up? What's up? EPA, Environmental Protection Agency. What's up, OSHA? I haven't heard no noise coming from these departments. I wonder why that is. Oh, and by the way, we never did answer the question is, why are all the big Fortune 500 companies marching in lockstep? That is counterproductive to earnings, ladies and gentlemen. The answer is because they're all being backstopped by the New World Order. The one world government is telling them, if you do this and thus and so, you will be backstopped. We will reimburse you for your loss of revenue if you agree to play along and follow these steps. Here's your script. Act accordingly, and you get a piece of this coronavirus bailout money. That's why they're doing it, folks, because the powers that be are saying we're going to backstop you. Okay? Same thing with goods and services. You may be wondering, how is it that manufacturing companies that this is their lifestyle, this is their livelihood, they are manufacturing. They manufacture things. Before coronavirus, companies that manufactured things and had warehouses and factories, they manufactured things. Now, all of a sudden, that we have a coronavirus, quote unquote, pandemic, none of these manufacturers know how to manufacture anything anymore. Oh no, we're having shortages. Oh, we can't keep up with the demand. Oh. So let me get this straight. You have ABC Company, who is the number one producer of face masks in the world. You got ABC Company, and they are the number one manufacturer of hand sanitizers in the world. Now, these are just two companies, leaders in their industry. They have the biggest market share in their industry. That doesn't mean that they're the only company in their industry. All I said was that they were the largest and had the largest market share in their industry. Remember now, underneath of them, there's numerous other entities that also manufacture face masks and manufacture hand sanitizer. So if you were to go and do a study, you probably find out that they have the combined capacity to probably manufacture, let's say, 1 billion of these things a month, maybe. All right, just throwing some numbers out. You can get 1 billion bottles of hand sanitizer. You can get 1 billion face masks. All this can be manufactured a month if they all ramped up their production and paid a little bit of overtime. They could get it done. You could get 1 billion of these things out a month. Let's just throwing some numbers out, right? We got about 6 or 7 billion people on the planet, right? Right? So if this be true, and this came to the world's understanding back in October, November, December, well, here we are in the month of April. So that means that we would have at least now, as of right now, had the entire world would be able to give every human being on the planet at least one face mask by now. At least one face mask. Not counting what we already had in circulation before the pandemic. So according to that, everyone on the planet should be able to have a face mask. Is anyone even using their brain, the critical thinking part of their brain? Are you using your cerebral cortex at all? How is it that your big manufacturers of said products can't manufacture nothing all of a sudden, but yet New York said, you know what? We're going to produce our own hand sanitizer, and we already got some, and we're passing it out to all the hospitals and medical workers now. How did they produce it, and the big 10 companies in their space couldn't produce it? And then you go even further. Now, when you go to the grocery store, you get to be told how much and what you can buy and how much of something you can buy. Since when did a retail store care who buys their products and how much? In retail, what is the number one goal of retail? Does anyone know the answer? Is someone in class, please raise your hand and help everybody else out. No one's raising their hand? Okay, I'll help you out. The number one rule in retail is to sell completely out of your inventory. and then hurry up and re-up and sell out of that one too. Always be selling. That's what the retailers are there for. So when they run out, they're on the phone to the manufacturer. I need more. How fast can you get it to me? Oh, how much more do you want to order? I want to, instead of my order, no, I don't want 1,000, but it says here you always get 1,000. So you want to up that? Yes, I do. The manufacturer will be like, oh my goodness, this is great. How much more do you want? Send me 10,000. You want 10,000? Oh yes, that's what I'm talking about. A manufacturer's dream is for all of their constituents to call in and say, we want to quadruple our regular orders. Do you think you're going to hear the manufacturer say, y'all, we going out of business today, man. We can't handle it. What do you mean you can't handle it? We're making too much money, man. I'm sorry. We're making too much money, and this was not our goal. Sorry, making all this money is not of God. We're getting too rich. All of our constituents have, quadrupled their orders, and we're gonna make like 100 times profit that we've made in since we've ever been in existence. So we have to rethink our life now. We're gonna close down our factories, and we're gonna send all of our workers home. We're gonna pay them for being home. And that's just what we have to do, because this is not of God. Prosperity is not of God. Wealth is not of God, and we're just not going to do it. We're going to close up shop, and that's it. That's it. We're done. We're out of business. No, that will never happen. It never has happened, and it never will happen. A manufacturer's job is to manufacture things. If they need to manufacture more, they will. They have the resources. They have the capacity. What is the number one rule when it comes to capacity? You want to have the biggest, baddest warehouse you can. You want to have the biggest, baddest manufacturing plant that you can get. You wish, you hope that you are in the business of pandemics. All right, a manufacturer is in the business of pandemics. They wish they had a problem where the whole world wanted their products and wanted it right now. Are you kidding? That is their dream. Most of the time, they're just doing what they can. They're like, okay, we're doing some business, but we can handle a lot more. We only putting out 1 million units a day. And when we built this facility, we built it for 1 billion units a day. We went all in. And the orders just ain't coming in. Something breaking news. Coronavirus has now been called a pandemic. The world is now in distress. That manufacturer will be like, yes, thank you, Lord. You answered my prayer. Oh, the orders are going to come flooding in. Okay, overtime for everybody. As a matter of fact, we're going to pay double and triple overtime for anyone who wants to work it. We got your back, dude. But no, it's not what you're saying. That's not what's happening. Instead, what you're hearing is that the manufacturing plants are all shut down, but magically, the governor of New York can produce his own hand sanitizer. Magically, all of a sudden, you're being told you cannot place an order for the things that you want when you go to the grocery store. Nope, you only get 1 box of that cereal. Nope, you can only have 1 bottle of hand sanitizer. Nope, you can only have 1 bottle of that hand soap. Nope, you can only get 1 item of that toilet paper. Nope, they're conditioning you for the reality of a socialist / communistic system which is about to come upon you. All right? Where you will be told, you will be rationed, everything will be rationed. Not because it's necessary, not because there's not enough to go around, but because your government wants to be in control of everything. That's why every industry is in the process of being nationalized. This is bad, not just for America. This is bad for the world. You don't want this. And it's being done on purpose, not because they can't meet the demand. It's being done on purpose, folks. On purpose. Somebody say, "Oh man, you off your rocker? I think you're reaching." Really? Okay. Well, here it is. Here's evidence. The smoking gun number one. Are you ready for this, folks? Here it is. We're producing so much oil that now they're being forced to pretty much dump it in the ocean. There's no place to put it. They said we got to cut back production because it's just too much. We got too much supply, not enough demand. I want you guys to take away this one thing if you don't take away anything else from today's live stream. Supply is never the issue. The issue is always demand. Manufacturers are in the business of manufacturing. But when they're being told they can no longer manufacture as many widgets as they are accustomed to, that they have to now cut production because the government said so, because they're trying to prove a point, they're trying to train and recondition and reprogram the masses to get used to this type of a world, you're going to do what you're told. Because if you don't do what you're told as a Fortune 500 company or some type of a big time manufacturing plant, they'll just come in there with machine guns and by force shut you down or shoot you dead on the spot. There's no raging against the machine in this scenario. This is what you got, folks. This is what everyone clamored for. This is what the young socialists are clamoring for because they're young, they're impressionable, and they're ignorant. They're ignorant of history and they're ignorant of the facts. They have been intellectually molested by their university professors. They should all be a part of the Me Too movement because they have been intellectually molested. Where is the justice for that? Now, unfortunately, I didn't want to have to do this, but you left me no choice. It is now time for me to hit you between the eyes. This is what I've been warning you about. I tried to tell you. I tried to warn you with every fiber of my being. I really did. I tried. You can only do but so much. One person can only do but so much. And I tried. People don't really believe me until after it's too late. You don't listen until after it has already happened, and now it's too late for you to do anything about it, people. What am I talking about? I'm going to have to literally show you this one. I can't just talk through this one. I'm going to have to show it to you. Since we live in a world where some people still believe that seeing is believing, all right, fine. 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 Here you go. Read with me. Pelosi pitches universal basic income. Pelosi pitches universal basic income. Pelosi pitches universal basic income to cope with pandemic. Wink, wink, hint, hint. Need I say any more? I told you this was coming. I warned you this was coming. I told you this was the end game. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, out of thin air, we have money now that we can give away to everybody. But I thought you said we were running these huge deficits and we couldn't afford to do certain things and blah, 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 blah. And now all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you can do this? Right now, the market is reeling because of a news piece that just came out. U.S. April Consumer Confidence Index falls to 86.9 from 118.8. Tell you what's going to happen with that. Market's going to pull back, knee-jerk reaction, because right now we're in a news-sensitive environment. And then this afternoon, the market is going to resume its rally, and it is going to take off, and it is going to be painful for those that got out too early on the knee-jerk reaction, thinking, oh no, the market is against me, it's going to hurt me. Just figured I'd throw that out there at you, just so you could think your way through things a little bit. Now, with that being said, I have to caution you. The weird thing as I'm looking at this is that the Dow seems to be now weaker than the Russell, which is normally not a good sign. Markets sold off and pulled back in the overnight market to correct most of this. So just want to throw that out there for you so that you don't just panic. All right. Any questions about what the end game is here, folks? Any question whatsoever about the end game? Universal basic income. They're trying to condition you. They want you to get ready to receive that. They want you to have that. All right. I'm just saying. Please don't be duped by all of this. Do the knowledge to this. Why did they give out these stimulus checks? To get you ready for basic universal income. Why did America lose almost 30 million jobs in a matter of weeks? Folks, I can't even begin to tell you how devastating that is. I can't even begin to tell you what is coming on the back of this. I told you, they're about to pull the plug. They're about to come on national TV and start talking to you about the depression. All right? I'm trying to tell you. See, there were so many people making fun of people on welfare for the last few decades. They were making fun, saying people on welfare are just too lazy to work. Oh, you got too many children. Oh, you don't have no work ethic, blah, 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 blah. But now these are the same people who once had six-figure incomes, and now they're saying, I want a handout. But I thought you said that these people were losers. So are you saying that you're a loser too now because you lost your job? See what I'm saying? You got it all twisted up. You were drinking the Kool-Aid. You thought you were better than you were. And then you realized you are no different than everyone else. You are a peasant. If you're not one of the leaders, founders, and profiteers of the New World Order, then you are a peasant. You have the powers that be, and then you have the peasants. There is no middle ground. There is no middle class. It's peasant or the powerful. If you're not a member of the powerful, then you are a peasant, and it is what it is. Okay? Now, everyone is going to be losing their job, and everyone is going to be on the government teat, and there's nothing you can do about it. You will be forced to make do with a limited fixed income. All right? And they're going to make you deal with that. And there's nothing you can do about it. All right? This is permanent unemployment. Correct. Permanent unemployment. So sad, so sad. Are you going to just lay down and take it? Or are you going to say, nope, I will go my own way. I will have unlimited financial freedom. The only way to do that is learning how to navigate these algorithms. The government employs algorithms in the markets, and they move in predictable patterns that cannot be seen with the naked eye by looking at a chart. It is impossible. This is not your granddaddy's markets. These are now computerized, algorithmic markets. You got to be able to understand that and learn how to benefit from it if you are going to survive this depression. Now, don't get it twisted, folks. Human beings are incredibly resilient, and they always find a way to bounce back and shine. That's why I told you on the back of this economic depression is going to be the most prolific bull market ever. And it is going to be the last bull market ever. All right? Wrap your heads around that. Now, see, all this didn't just happen overnight. This didn't just happen today or just happen last week or even just a 2020 phenomenon. No, it started in 2008 when you elected Barack Obama to office. What was his agenda while he was in office? His first agenda was to move forward the Bush laws, which he did, and then he took them to their next level. All right. You had your NDAA and all that good stuff. All right. But Obama, that was his thing. What was his second agenda? His second agenda was to push forward the age of Aquarius, the age of Semiramis. Semiramis is the movement that incorporates the feminist agenda and the LGBTQ agenda. That was his second order of business, to push that agenda. Then his very third and last thing to do was to get the people ready for the socialistic, communistic, fascistic government that was coming. How did they do that? Well, for the first time in human history, you started hearing and seeing ads on television and radio for EBT food stamp benefits. When have you ever in your life heard a radio commercial or TV commercial pushing and encouraging people to apply for EBT food stamp benefits? When, folks? When? Never until Obama got in office. When he got in office, that is when you started hearing and seeing those ads telling you to come on over and apply. You'll be surprised to find out that you do qualify, because they relaxed the guidelines and they started just slinging it out to everybody. Okay? I'm just saying. All right? Now, we know about all the drama that came with him. We know about the fake birth certificate. We know about the Michelle Tranny situation. We know all about all that stuff. We know about his real father. We know all about that stuff. We know about the one dude that he had assassinated, and the other dudes that went missing. We know all about that. We know about the whole thing with all the other individuals, the other pedophiles. Remember CL Long? Remember that story? And the whole thing, and the church he went to with Jeremiah Wright, and how Oprah and them went there. We know all about all that stuff. All that stuff was already exposed. Alex Jones did that incredible documentary about it, all that stuff. And he wasn't the only one. There were other documentaries too that were absolutely mind-boggling. We know all about all that stuff. However, no one really paid attention. You saw the advertisements on TV. You heard the radio advertisements encouraging people to apply for EBT benefits. But what you did not know is that this day was a result of that central planning from 2008. They were planning for this moment, preparing you for this moment. Most of you, it just went right past you. You weren't paying no attention. You heard it, but you really didn't understand it, and you didn't pay no attention to it. You just saw those people. What you didn't know is that your government was planning to turn you into those people. All right? So this is where we are, okay? This was planned. It didn't happen overnight. It's been an incremental process, slow and steady, to get you ready for what was to come. All right? And here we are. Here we are. Now, the other question is, what you gonna do about it, player? What you gonna do about it? You know, we got issues. We got problems. What are you gonna do about it? You can't deny it. You can't pretend like it don't exist. All right, because it does exist, and you got to deal with it. You got to deal with it. All right, you got to deal with it. All right, so here's another issue that we need to deal with. Now, we see Pelosi is pushing for this universal basic income. The other reason that they're pushing for is because, number one, the agenda has already been in place. We've already moved forward to this. They couldn't push back from this if they wanted to, because unfortunately, and this is where it's going to get a little complicated, so just bear with me. If they don't do universal basic income, the country collapses. All right? Now, I know what some of you about to say, because I know you was waiting for this moment. You've been salivating for this moment. You've been doing extra push-ups and setups and just working out, running an extra couple of miles a day, preparing yourself for the moment that I would use the word collapse. All so that you could say, but wait a minute. Do you not have a documentary called There Is No Collapse? What say you, sir? I know, I can hear it through the headset. I hear you. I hear you. Let me explain. The reason why I said there is no collapse is because they're not going to let that happen. They have to give you the universal basic income. That was the plan all along. The coronavirus just helped set that up. They needed a catalyst to set their launch day. They had everything in place, but they didn't have an actual date to do it. It wasn't about a date. It was about a process. They needed a catalyst that was good enough to bring this about, and that's what you just saw. Okay? Now, as I'm talking to you right now, I have competition. Dr. Fauci is on live with Bloomberg saying that he is almost certain that coronavirus will come back. Okay, so if you're certain about this, can you explain to me how that's even possible? Let's break it down, folks. And this is basic and it's elemental, because I asked this question many years ago because I was trying to understand some things. All right, I was trying to understand some things. All right, for those of you who are not aware, I did not become quote unquote woke until 2008, the end of 2008. That's when my process, my journey started, the end of 2008. Okay, here we go. I asked a basic question one time, and it was about the flu. Because every time I go to doctor, you always hear, okay, it's flu season, right? And I'd be like, wait a minute, I thought there was only 4 seasons. I thought we had fall, winter, spring, and summer. I didn't know we had a 5th season called flu season. Can you tell me more about this flu season? They were like, yep, every year from like January up until the end of March, whatever, we have a flu season. I was like, this is interesting. So, how do we, first of all, how is it possible that we have some type of virus that manifests itself every year at the same time, but we claim we don't know where it comes from and we don't know how to prevent it or stop it? This doesn't make sense, Doc. And then they were like, well, this comes because of, the hogs, the pig market. And, what happens is, pigs this and pigs that, hogs this and hogs that, and, this and that. And, yeah. And I was like, no, 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 nope, nope. It's not going to work. I don't buy that and I don't understand it and it doesn't make sense. I said, okay, so let's say you're right, and it's those darn pigs, those hogs. Then why can't you do something to make it so that there is no outbreak? And if that's the case, how come I don't hear every year they have to slaughter some hogs that they can't bring to market because of this? That doesn't make any sense. Because when a cow gets sick with mad cow, you slaughter the herd. You can't bring that to market. That's mad cow, right? So that didn't make any sense. The explanation made no sense. Then it got worse because then they said, okay, now the reason why we can't just, vaccine this is because, there's multiple strands of the flu and we don't know which one is going to hit each year. And I was like, now that also makes absolutely no sense to me. So, like clockwork, something's coming like clockwork, but you can't do anything about it. You can't stop it. You can't prevent it. And you don't know where it goes when it leaves. I said, this sounds really suspicious to me. I'm sorry. I've always been of a curious mind. I've always been. And that's, one of the things that led me to being to where I am today is because I always asked a lot of questions. Even as a child, I asked too many questions. It aggravated most adults because then they would give me an answer and I'd be like, nope, that's not going to work. You're not going to be able to dismiss me with such a frivolous answer. I need a real answer. I need for you to think really hard and give me a real answer. And if you don't know, just say you don't know. But don't mess around. And so, my oldest is the same way. She was 2 years old once, and I forget what the topic was, but it was something. And I gave her an answer, and she looked at me sideways and was like, "Just tell me the truth." And I was like, "What?" And I was like, "Okay, that's a little me. Let me go ahead and do it." So I had to tell her the truth, and she handled it. And I was shocked, and it's been that way ever since. So that's how I am. I'm like, okay, so here's the thing. We got this thing called the flu. You claim that there are multiple strains of it. Well, how did you know? Well, first of all, my question was, how do you know there's multiple strains of it if you claim you don't know where it comes and where it goes, and it's like the wind. You don't know anything about it. You can't catch it to even examine it. According to you, you don't know. So how is it that you don't know? But yet you told me you know the source where it comes from. It doesn't make any sense. You just told me you know the source of the flu. And you know like clockwork when it's going to come. You got it broken down and called it a season. So how is it that you can't stop it and you can't cure it and you can't prevent it? That doesn't make any sense. So you want me to believe that our medical establishment has come up with vaccines that cured polio, so they claim, which we know that is not true, but they claim they did, but yet they can't cure the flu. And that, quote unquote, there's no cure for the common cold. I disagree 100%. I disagree 100%. I disagree 100% because I absolutely knew someone who had never been sick a day in their life. And the one time they finally got sick, they died and they were in their 70s. And that's a real story. That's a true story. All right. So if this can happen for this one person, obviously there is some immunity there. All your multiple strands of flu did not take this person down ever. They never caught it. Interesting, isn't it? And there are more stories like that. Real talk. Okay, so let me get this straight. We know where the flu comes from. We know there are multiple strains, but then on the same breath, you say you don't know where it comes from. It's either you do or you don't. Either you will or you won't. Which is it? So it led me down this rabbit hole that the reason why they cannot stop the flu is because they will not stop the flu. It's not that they can't, it's that they don't want to because they see it as a culling of the herd. The flu kills hundreds of thousands of people a year, and they say that is necessary. They got it, that it has to happen so that it can root out the weaklings and only the strong survive. If you can survive it, you deserve to be here, kind of a thing. That is the only reason why. Because let's be honest, there are a lot of people who don't eat pork, but yet they get the flu. So let me get this straight. You're saying you know it comes from a pig, so what if everyone just stopped eating bacon and ham? Then we wouldn't get the flu anymore. No, because the flu, it's airborne and blah, 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 blah. Well, really? So you can cure COVID-19. You say if you just had enough time, you will have a vaccine in at least a year or two, but you can't come up with a vaccine for the flu. Yeah, we do. That's why we get flu shots. Yeah, but it's 100% ineffective because you claim you don't know what strand of the flu is going to come. Here it is in a nutshell, folks. I believe that the government releases this every year around the same time, and they've been doing it for decades. That's why there's a flu season, and it's multiple strains of it on purpose. And whatever the flu doesn't kill, the flu shot will take care of the rest for you and wipe out the rest. No such thing as herd immunity. That is a lie. Because if that was the case, then why did you tell everyone to stay in the house and pass curfews and threaten people with imprisonment and all that if they didn't stay in the house? And by doing so, you said you would limit the spread, but instead you didn't limit the spread of the COVID-19. You only increased it. The numbers of infections went up exponentially once everyone was locked into their houses. How do you account for that? How do you explain that, sir? Because they can't. They're doing it. I'm telling you, they're doing it. Remember, people say, oh, the government would never do that, and what you're doing is libel and slander and blah, blah. No, hold your horses now. The governments of the world are evil. You need to understand that because the sources behind them is evil. All right? This is the same government that has been chemtrailing you since the 70s and denied it the entire time. It wasn't until recently that they came out and admitted it and said, okay, you caught us, fine. We're tired of hearing about it, fine. Yes, we chemtrail, but not for why you think. We're not trying to kill you. We're just trying to combat global warming. Shut up. Stop it. Shut up. I don't want to hear it. Nonsense. See what I'm saying? They do this stuff, and then when they get caught, they deny. And because they're the government, they're the ones with all of the space age technology weaponry that they could use to evaporate you in a second. There's nothing you can do about it. They are the absolute sovereign. They can do whatever they want. They can disappear people without reprieve. They can murder and assassinate people with no type of ramifications or repercussions. They assassinate world leaders. They assassinate individuals. They do whatever they want to, and they're above the law. They say they are the law. They can do whatever they want when they want to whomever they want. And they've demonstrated that hundreds of times. They have been poisoning the people since the 1940s and 50s, testing biological weapons on the masses. There have been multiple documentaries proving that fact, going all the way back to the Tuskegee situation. There have been many Tuskegees. Don't forget that our government that you hold to be heavenly and holy is the same government that designed and implemented COINTELPRO and assassinated world leaders of the more darker complexion persuasion. This is the same government, the same identical government that told you the ground zero was safe and that you could go in, you workers, without masks, majority of which have now passed away due to some unknown diseases. That's right, folks. This is that same government. This is that same government that lied, and that lie got us into the Vietnam War. Does the Gulf of Tonkin ring a bell? To say that the government does not lie, to say that our government is not wicked and evil because the people that run it are wicked and evil. We've already demonstrated that. We don't have to beat a dead horse. People just need to wake up to the situation. We are in a global depression. This is the first time ever that the world has faced this type of a situation. The depression of the 1930s pales in comparison. If we didn't have technology like they didn't have, we would be a million times worse than them. They had bread lines because they didn't have technology. They didn't have EBT food stamp cards. If they did, you probably wouldn't have heard anything about the depression of the 1930s because there would have been nothing to talk about per se. Because they would be like, yeah, we got this all under control. We got this wrapped up. It's all good over here. We got this. But that's not what happened. You've seen the horrors of that time. You've seen the stories. You've seen the video footage. You've seen the pictures. You've read the books that were written on the subject of eyewitnesses who lived through it. You know all about it. This one is so much worse because of all of the mitigating factors associated with it. Look at the debt to GDP ratios around the globe. Look at how we're no longer an agrarian society. You know, back then they were. Most people had farms and they grew their own food, hunted and fished. Prior to that, people were pretty much self-sufficient and they really, did what they did. Okay. We don't have that now. All right. We don't have that now. We just don't. And as a result of us not having that, the world is in a far worse predicament. Okay. It's a big deal. All right. This is not a good thing, folks. Okay. This is what it is. You need to understand that. Look at the debt to GDPs around the world. Look at all of the unemployment numbers around the world. Look at it. Look at the production halt. Since when in the 1930s did every factory shut down worldwide? It didn't. The depression didn't really hit globally. It didn't hit everybody like that. Nah, not like that. No, no, no. That's a United States thing. That's a that's a United States issue. All right. We're talking about a global issue. We're talking about food shortages on purpose. They're manufacturing this depression. This is not an organic depression. This is a manufactured one. This is being done on purpose to cull the herd. They're trying to get the population way down, and this is their best means of doing it. It's a Trojan horse. The coronavirus legislation is a Trojan horse to roll out and implement everything that I've been warning you about since the late great Charlie McGrath Wide Awake News and Wide Awake Radio show. We've been on this. We've been warning you about this, that these times were coming, and now they're here. And the question is, what you gonna do about it? Whether you like it or not, they're coming for your jobs. It's just a fact of life. You gotta get in front of this. You gotta get ahead of it. Don't wait till you lose your job and then say, okay, now what am I gonna do? Learn how to trade these markets. This is the only thing that's not going anywhere is these markets. These markets will be here long after we're gone. They were here long before we were born. Everyone listening to the sound of my voice right now, the market is older than you are. It was here long before any one of you were born. Everyone on the sound of my voice right now, none of you were born when it came into existence. You weren't here. You weren't here. You were not here. None of you were born under the sound of my voice in the 1800s. None of you. None of you were born in the 1800s. Not one of you. Not one of you. You weren't born. You were not born. You don't know. You were not there. You were not there. It is a fact. Deal with it. Deal with it. You weren't there. Okay? Can we be honest? Even for a little bit? None of you were there. Because of that, you don't understand that these mechanisms that are in place is part of the system. Without the markets, you have no economy. Because the markets is made up of all the companies that are made up of the economy. You can't have it without production. You can't have it without companies. You can't have it without produce. You can't have it about manufacturing. You got to have all these things. All these cogs in the wheel must be present in order for you to have an economy. That's why the markets are essential to having an economy. That's why throughout the years, the markets themselves have evolved. All right? They've been evolving for that reason, to get us to this point. Now the markets are all connected electronically. All right? To the point where the markets themselves have become centralized. They're all connected. Why do you think every night when I show you those end of day reports, I show you those charts, they all look the same? Have you ever stopped to think why that is? Why do these charts look identical? It's because they're all connected to the board, to the hive that regulates and manages these markets. There is a rhyme to the rhythm, to the madness, and you just have to know it and know where we go from here. That's why every day I do these videos. I'm trying to help as many people as I can before it's too late. Some of you, under the sound of my voice, you are going to wait until it's too late, and then you will not be able to participate on the back end. That's right. There are going to be people who are not going to make it because they didn't prepare. They weren't prudent. They didn't see the signs. They didn't see the handwriting on the wall. All right. Don't let that be you. You need to do things while you still can, because there's a day coming where you may not be able to, for whatever the reason. All right. So I'm trying to encourage as many people as I can to take this seriously. Yes, the world is going to bounce back. That is a guarantee. I'm telling you, but not until we go through this depression. It is going to be unlike any depression the world has ever known. It is a deflationary, hyperinflated depression. What does that mean? It means that on the macro side of things, it's a deflationary depression. All right, because you're going to have your purchasing power is going to be eroded, and even though prices will be coming down for a lot of things, you still won't be able to afford it. All right, it's going to be hyperinflated because food and energy is about to go through an enormous hyperinflated bubble. Food and energy will be hyperinflated, everything else will be deflated. And it's like the little skit that we used to talk about back in the day. You'll be in a situation like this. Someone will come up to you and be like, "Yo, today is your lucky day." You'll be like, "How so?" "Dude, my 100 bedroom mansion, my Bugatti, my Rolls Royce, and my Lamborghini is all yours today." Wait a minute, I gotta stop you right there, dude. I can't afford none of that stuff you talking about. "Oh, yes, you can, because your lucky day is today. You give me $20 and it's yours. Here is my deed. Here's the title to my cars. I'm prepared to write your name on all of it and hand you these papers. Just give me $20. And you'll know that this is a real opportunity that never comes, but it's happening to you at this time, on this date, at this place. And sadly, you cannot take advantage of this opportunity because you don't have $20. Not only do you not have $20 on you, you don't have it in your purse. It's not in your wallet. It's not in your pocket. It's not in your sock. It's not in your bra. And it's sure enough, it's not in your bank account. It's not at home in your mattress either. What in the world are you going to do when you can't even take advantage of things that have gone on a sale of a lifetime? And you can't participate, you cannot take advantage. This is beyond your means. That's the kind of world we're about to go into, where situations like that will be beyond your means. Oh my goodness, I can't believe that this item is on sale right now and you can't buy it. You don't have enough. It is what it is. I'm just saying. So be encouraged. Be encouraged now, today, because we're not living in that world just yet, but it is around the corner. So the time to start making provisions for it is right now. All right. This is the time to act, like right now. Not now, but right now. You got to act. You don't have a choice. You have to do this. Okay. With that being said, there's a whole lot more I did not have a chance to get into today because it would take even more time. But there's a lot going on, folks. A lot going on. And we need to be aware of it. And we need to be sounding the alarms. I know that for the most part, censorship is running wild, but there is so much going on right now that it can be a little bit overwhelming for most people to catch up and figure out what time it is. So all I'm going to say is this in closing. Don't be afraid of the future. All right? You don't want to be that guy. Okay? What you want is to be prepared. Okay? This is what you want. You want to know where you are so you can get an idea of where you're headed. Okay? So I'm just saying, be encouraged and take action now while you still can, because tomorrow may be too late for some. Okay? PulseWaveTrading.com, you know what it is. We got weekly webinars going on. We got a lot of things going on, things we don't even have time to do here on YouTube, but we do the best we can. The time to learn is now. All right? The time to learn is now. We got a lot of goodies, a lot of giveaways, but you got to go to the website and register for that. Take advantage of the 6-pack that we got going on right now, because it may not be here much longer either. All right. We've held the price down for as long as we can, but we might have to take some stuff away. All right. Because we can't help everybody. We can help as many as we can, but we're not going to be able to help everybody, and we know that. So take advantage while you can, folks. All right. PulseWaveTrading.com. And remember, bulls make money, bears make money, and pigs get slaughtered. So remember to take what you can and give nothing back. And I'm out. See y'all this evening for the end of day report. And the rest of you, I'll catch you in the trading room. Peace.